Hello and welcome to my Yu-Gi-Oh channel. So today we're looking at a brand new card which is also coming from Jim Crocodile Crook. This is part of his Fossil Fusion archetype, and it was a card that has been shown a couple of times. I think he used it against Tirana Hasselbury in the third season of Yu-Gi-Oh GX, when Hasselbury was acting a bit like the dinosaur, you know, because of the dinosaur DNA within him. This is FLINT CRAGGER. It's an Earth attribute rock type effect monster. It's a level 3 with 800 attack and 1600 defense. You can only use each of this card's name's first and second effects once per turn. 1. If this card is special summoned, you can discard one card, and if you do, send one Fossil Fusion monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. And 2. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can inflict 500 damage to your opponent. Then, if Fossil Fusion is in your graveyard, you can return one of your banished Fossil Fusion or one card that specifically lists it in its text to the graveyard. This card actually helps to fuel your Fossil Fusion plays. For starters, when it's special summoned, you're instantly able to pitch a card and send a Fossil Fusion monster, so those tend to be anywhere. I think there's a level 4, there's a level 6, and there's a level 8. By sending those to the graveyard, you're able to then fuel into going to some of the stronger ones, because you can fuse using your own graveyard. You do get the benefit if you use a monster from your opponents, but it's not always necessary. If you're more dependent on what you want to do and you don't want to give your opponent any kind of control, this is the best way to do it with that effect. Trouble with that is it does need to be special summoned, but there are cards out there that let you do that anyway. Even if you look at something as simple as Giant Rat, you know, it's one of those it's one of the attribute summoners that lets you just, when it's destroyed, it's in battle, similar to something like Mystic Tomato. It's the Earth attribute one. It can bring this card out straight away. So you do have to wait a turn to use it, but I'm sure there are other things that you can suggest down below in the comments. For the second effect, the 500 points of burn damage is neither here nor there. It's really not much, and generally speaking, it's kind of irrelevant. But if it is used as part of the sent from the field to the graveyard, so it could be used as part of a Fossil Fusion, I suppose, or if it's used for a tribute summon, then you're able to recover both the Fossil Fusion or a monster from that, so you can bring back, I don't know, some of your various fusion monsters back to the graveyard, and recovering and summoning from the graveyard is always much easier than having to summon them from the banished pile. So this just adds to that level of consistency that they needed. What do you guys think of this card? Is this something you consider using, or would you think this is a little bit too weak for the deck? Leave those comments down below and don't forget to subscribe.